Today's message is about knowing who we are, embracing who we are at a heart level, a soul level, and how to recognize where we might be leaking our energy or giving it away. My name is Heather Coster. I love to empower people to stand in their own sovereignty and to live it, to bless everyone with their sovereignty and to help us to bridge the spiritual world to the human world, to embody the spirituality we are all transitioning into and through. And I do that sometimes through speaking to the angels and the guides and bridging that into embodiment practices. So thank you for joining me today. I wanted to really bring awareness to how we are all blessed with such energy and God light within us, and how we all have different energies, of course, that we are blessed in expressing ourselves. So if our life is full of creative energy, creative choices, we get to create the world around us. We all have our own unique formula on what serves us the best. And when we stay, when we work, when we play through this formula, so to speak, we can find more abundance, more joy, more ease, because we are living in our sovereignty. When we work hard to be something we are not, things can feel like an uphill battle. We can come across challenges. We can kind of even get roadblocks sometimes. And so it's being aware of what is easy and in flow and what feels like a pushing or a struggle. So let's go back to the energy we are born with. We all have the God light within all of us. We are all aligned up above. We have God always in our heart, and that light is always in us, whether we recognize it or not. That is our soul's essence. That's how we were created. And the more we can bring attention to that, bring life to that, to breathe into that, the more alive the spirit is within us. So what does that look like for each of us? Some of us have the gift of divine wisdom, maybe knowing these bigger truths, these unknowns that maybe not everyone knows, kind of running in the background, these wise ideas. Maybe they feel ancient or this big knowing. Some of us have this divine gift of communication where you're great at speaking and teaching others ideas and concepts, translating it into your own way, and then communicating that with us so we can understand it in a different way. We need to hear your voice, your way of teaching it to us. Some of us have the gift of maybe the inner truth, of seeing the truth in other people. You're a seer. You are naturally good at seeing beyond what the physical eyes can see. And so maybe it's using that gift. Some people have this divine love, and their healing power is by loving everyone unconditionally and to see them as they are without judgment. Their healing comes from acceptance and through truly loving everyone, no matter how they walk in the door, what they look like, what they're bringing with them. And there's so many other ways that we can have these gifts, so many other gifts that we carry that are ways that we bless other people in our lives. And so drop into your heart, I invite you to, and to really think, what lights me up? What comes easily to me? When people say, I love this about you, what is it that pops out that you're like, oh, I didn't even realize I did that? It might come so easily to you, you might be taking it for granted. And it might be like, oh, you get me, you see me, and you might not recognize that as a truth, as something to honor in yourself, something that you do bless people with. But if you take a minute and you're still with the things people point out to you or what comes easy to you, you might remember or realize that not everyone does it that way. You have a special way of gifting people with your blessings. You have a special way of expressing your creativity, expressing your unique values and your unique recipe of the spirit that lives within you. And we need that so much. So if you go within your heart and you imagine that you are aligned with that God energy flowing into your heart, and you know that, you trust that, and you go within and you ask, what is my truth? What am I here to honor? How am I here to bless others, bless myself, bless my family, bless my loved ones? What comes easily to me? What do people recognize in me? That is your gold. That's what we're here for. That's what you're here for, is to bring out more of your gold, to shine that light. And so if this is something you're curious about, I walk people through this all the time. If this is something you want to lean into and truly discover your version of you, and you're struggling to tap into that, reach out to me. I love doing this with people, but you can do it. You can do it. The other part is, once we find out that we are aligned, we find our truth, our inner light, and we can have multiple ways, but we usually have like one true one that stands out more than others, right? Once we kind of know who we are and we can hold on to that, it's honoring that and treating it in such a sacred way that we don't give it away freely in ways that aren't maybe deserving, maybe could be, I don't want to say wasteful, but exhausting. And I don't mean these to sound like uncompassionate or to not have empathy for people or things that we can still give freely when we choose to, but have very sacred boundaries around our energy. What does that mean? What does that look like? If we put ourselves in our own sacred bubble, our own sacred container, and I realize that is my gold, my goodness, my creative force, my soul spark, how my language that my soul is wanting to speak, and I put all that energy in this beautiful globe of energy that is mine. It could be your auric field, whatever that looks like for you. And then you notice the shifts and changes around you, of a different place you go to, of a different food that you might even be choosing to eat, of money, of a business, of a person, right? All these things that you come up against are going to be different than your vibration, than your creative gold. And it's noticing, does that serve me? Does that not serve me? What does that feel like in my body to give to that? And the question is, how does it feel in your body? For instance, if I see a friend and I want to buy her lunch, I'm like, let's go to lunch. I want to buy you lunch. And I check in with my body and I'm like, am I doing this out of obligation because I feel like I need to for some reason? Or am I doing this because my heart feels expanded and open and I truly want to bless this person and love this person and show compassion in this way? Two very different ways where I am extending my money to another person. We vote with our dollars. Money is an energetic exchange. It's a way we can share love with others. And so maybe you feel the difference. Like, am I doing this out of I should do this? It's my turn. I owe her. So many different ways we can look at it, or we could look at it as like, no, I love her and I want to bless her today in this way. I want to honor this feeling in my heart and expand into that. Very, very different. Same exchange of money, same exchange of the energy of money, but different energetic values. One is out of expansion and love. One is out of constriction and obligation. Very different. And so we can honor that, or recognize that rather, with everything we do. Every relationship, every place we go, anything we put in our body food-wise. Is this going to honor me, or am I doing this because I feel like I have to? Is this going to serve me or not serve me? And so this is just the very beginning of the conversation of our boundaries, our energy, and what it looks like. So I invite you to play with it. Play with it and go within and start to feel the different energies and the different things around you and what it feels like in a positive way in your body, or how it can feel in a constrictive way in your body. And come back to the inner knowing and ask yourself what is true for you and how to best serve everyone around you and those that you love as well. So have fun, and until next time, bye.